Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
You look...
How are you?
How is your heart?
My heart is full. How's your heart?
It's still kicking. So that's all I ask of it.
It's running and a pumping?
Yeah. So
nice.
I got a question for you, other than about our cardiovascular health.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what's ridiculous?
I can tell you it's ridiculous.
I was counting on
Well,
you.
actually, it's not me. It's McKinley at the Bend Beer Vault.
Okay. Is this a friend of yours?
She's a friend of the show. She emailed us.
Oh, rude dude. Nice.
Yeah, total rude dude. Seems like a really cool person. She said, love the show. My boyfriend and I have been listening for 3 years, and it's definitely our favorite. We love having you two join along on our road trips.
Ooh.
Y'all always bring a smile to our faces. Take care and stay ridiculous. It's McKinley.
Will do.
So McKinley sent us something.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to tell you, it's not a mashup.
Yes. McKinley, you rock. You and your boyfriend.
Well, she referred to it as a mashup, but it's not a mashup.
Uh-huh.
It's not. McKinley still rocks.
She still rocks.
Obviously.
I'm just suspicious of you.
You should always be. All right. So you like milkshakes.
Yes.
I mean, your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
I mean, you've tasted it.
No. So the milkshakes, you like them.
Yes.
What's
I
your
do.
favorite flavor of milkshake?
These days,
Yeah.
don't laugh, but I'm really into vanilla.
Oh, really?
I know it's the flavor
I'm not laughing.
nobody respects. Everyone acts like, oh, that's so vanilla. I'm like, but it's actually a really nice flavor.
It
so
is.
I've been really into like
yeah, it's not just like milk, like plain nothing flavor.
Yeah.
It's
So like I used to be
what's
like
your
a strawberry.
favorite flavor?
My third favorite. Thank you for asking. It'd probably be peach. What about you?
I like
What's your third favorite?
I don't know.
What's your second favorite?
Chocolate.
What's your first favorite?
Mocha.
Those are okay.
Well, one has coffee, one doesn't.
Right, of course. Naturally.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like what I like. I don't like certain kinds of milkshakes.
What kind is that, Elizabeth?
That would be the ultimate Cheez-It milkshake.
Oh my God.
Now, Cheez-It
How is this not a
didn't
mashup?
partner with anyone. This is Cheez-It did this to them damn selves. It's on their recipes on their website. And they have other questionable recipes.
I'm sure they do.
But the ultimate Cheez-It milkshake, Zaron, prepare your taste buds to sip it with this absurdly indulgent milkshake made with your favorite cheesy, salty snack.
Oof.
Vanilla shake. Look, you like that.
Yeah, stop there.
Blended with Cheez-It crackers and a crushed Cheez-It cracker rim.
Oh my God.
And topped with whipped cream, chocolate sauce, and garnished with a Cheez-It cracker. Here's a picture. We'll have them put that on Instagram for
I
us.
literally shuddered. Like my whole body just shook.
Cheez-Its in a vanilla shake is just that I don't like that one bit.
So it's a cheddar shake.
It's a cheddar shake, and they have other recipes like the non-alcoholic Cheez-Arita.
Wait, why would I want that? Pour in some brandy. Let's
Lime
get loose.
seltzer, Cheez-It hot and spicy cracker infused simple syrup, lime, and pineapple. It's made to spice up your dance moves. That's what it says. That's not me saying that. That's the Cheez-It. That's
That's the Cheez-It talking.
Captain Cheez-It himself, the founder of Cheez-Its. I'm scrolling through here, and there's a lot of things that explain why our society's falling apart. That these are acceptable things to put online. Cheez-It s'mores brownies. Those go with a milkshake.
So Rome had bread and circuses. We have Cheez-It shakes.
We have Cheez-Its and milkshakes. Extra big Cheez-It s'mores cookies. Make them extra big because, you can't get enough. Zaron.
The test kitchen at Cheez-It must be a wild place.
Oh, God. Zaron, Cheez-It lemon bars. I'll stop. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to keep
you'll
looking
never
on
stop.
here. Anyway, that's ridiculous. Cheez-It apple pie. That's ridiculous.
you fooled me. I was about to compliment you for your restraint.
No, I have no. You know me. I have zero restraint.
I know. I should have been. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That is 100% ridiculous. Well, do you know what else is ridiculous?
Yeah, a lot of things. Go.
Okay. I got a question. Another question for you to start it off.
Okay.
Do you remember the Monopoly game from McDonald's?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
Well, like the semi-regular return of the McRib, Elizabeth, I got good news for you. McDonald's Monopoly game is back, baby.
It was like in the 80s, right?
Yeah, 80s, 90s.
I remember that
into
as
the
a
early
kid.
aughts.
As a kid, they had that.
It's wild because, as you point out, you remember it when you were a kid. If you know what happened back when it was first a popular game to play at the Golden Arches, it's wild that it's coming back.
Really?
And if you don't know, well, you're in for a treat because that's what I want to tell you about.
I'm about to know.
Today. This is Ridiculous Crime, a podcast about absurd and outrageous capers, heists, and cons. It's always 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Elizabeth.
Ridiculous, yes.
What do you know about the history of lotteries?
Lotteria. I don't know. They're old. They're old as heck. They did them in the caves.
Pretty close.
But that was to kill a community member.
Yes, it's like who survives the winter?
Well, and it's what is it? The short story, The Lottery.
Oh,
Shirley Jackson.
Sure, there you go.
There's that. That's a dim, dark lottery.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not really a fun one. But well, here, I'll inform you about the history of lotteries.
Please do.
Briefly. One of the first lotteries in history took place in the Han Dynasty in ancient China.
Okay.
So roughly 205 BCE.
So not in the caves.
No,
okay.
Post-cave.
Post-caves.
The money was raised for this lottery by the Han Dynasty, and the money that they generated from the lottery was used to pay for the construction of the Great Wall of China.
Oh, no way.
The Great Wall of China was paid for by gambling.
They're like, it's for a good cause, guys. It's for the what? Like how people are like, it's for the schools. No, it's not why you're buying a lottery ticket.
The next time someone says gambling is a degenerate form of entertainment, you can tell them, I guess you don't like the Great Wall of China.
Right?
Because gambling built that wonder of the world. Okay, so my point is gambling has been around for a very long time, right? And especially the lottery. And it's often been used to pay for the running of the government or to fund construction of grand endeavors.
Sure.
Of course, this is not always the case. Sometimes lotteries were designed to curry favor. Like, for instance, in ancient Rome, in the time of the empire, gambling was permitted only during special occasions like the celebrations of Saturnalia, which was, I'm not sure if you're familiar, I didn't know about this exactly, but it was the holiday time that Christmas would later replace.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when the Roman Empire adopted Christianity, they're like, well, let's just slot that right into Saturnalia and keep it rocking.
They're like, big coincidence.
Yeah.
It's that guy's birthday.
Well, that and also Sol Invictus, but I'll get to that in a second. So way back in the 4th century CE.
Wait, when does Mehmet II make an appearance?
Not in this episode, surprisingly.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, but so in the 4th century CE, or if you prefer AD, Anno Dominus,
yes,
Pope Julius I issued a decree that Christmas, the celebration of the birth of baby Jesus, was to be celebrated on December 25th. Mm-hmm. It's thought that this was to replace the pagan gift-giving of Saturnalia with the new Christian gift-giving of Christmas. Mm-hmm. It was also intended to combine celebrations. There was the Saturnalia, and then also, as I said, the birthday celebration of Sol Invictus, who was the sun god of the Roman Empire. His birthday was honored on when? December 25th.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Saturnalia. As it plays out, the earliest European lotteries date back to Saturnalia, the Roman Empire. So wealthy families, they would hold these extravagant dinner parties, and there's a lot of role reversal, like where the slaves get to be the master and that kind of stuff.
Oh.
And so rich people would invite all their friends over. Then they would try to curry favor by then holding a lottery, and everybody, guests would all be given a lottery ticket when they entered the dinner party or whatever, and each ticket holder would win a gift, and some of the gifts were more lavish than others, and that was the beginning of the lottery. Mm-hmm. This idea is then expanded upon by the first great Roman emperor, Augustus Caesar.
Yeah.
He switched up the game by selling tickets, for prizes, and to the public instead of at a dinner party.
Sure.
And some of the gifts that he was giving out were more spectacular than others. And the funds that were generated, he used those to rebuild the aging city of Rome.
Oh, well,
so
there you
Rome
go.
was also built on lottery winnings.
But not in a day.
Well, yeah, not in a day. Or I guess lottery funds. Anyway, fast forward to colonial America. you could argue that the colonies were also built off the funds generated by gambling.
Oh, really?
Because,
They did some lottos?
Oh my goodness, yes, tons, like hundreds of them. And back in 1612, King James of England, King James I, he allowed the Virginia Company to offer a lottery in England to raise money for the struggling settlement. Because post Jamestown, Jamestown's founding, they're like, this is not going well. These rich kids are not doing what we thought they would do.
Yeah.
We need to raise some money. So they do. And so from that very first English settlement, aka Jamestown, gambling has been part of America's story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this holds true all the way through colonial times. Lotteries were used to raise money to build roads, canals, bridges. You want to build a church? Let's hold a lottery. You want a library? Let's hold a lottery. And then the first universities in America, so like the earliest ones, not Harvard, but Princeton and Columbia, were both paid for with money generated from lotteries.
You're kidding.
Same for the University of Pennsylvania. So nearly half of the Ivy League was paid for off of gambling profits.
Wow.
That's what I mean when I say America's always been cozy with gambling.
Right,
So, enjoy that crypto. Anyway, when you have so much money generated by a lottery, some folks obviously will do what? Cheat.
Yes.
And then fraud follows, which is why in 1890 in the United States, lotteries were officially pretty much banned in all but 2 states. You want to guess which 2 states were like, nope, we're keeping this. This is too good.
In what year?
1890. Yes, obviously there's no Utah, Arizona. Certain states don't exist.
New Jersey?
Good guess, no.
Oh, I don't
Think of more corrupt than New Jersey.
More corrupt than New Jersey.
Yeah, not like, hey, I'm over here.
Pennsylvania?
Close, Delaware.
Delaware.
The home of the corporation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that adds up.
Louisiana.
Yeah, well, that's its own thing. Like,
yes, Louisiana, especially New Orleans. New Orleans is like a city-state in America, and Louisiana's like, we are different than New Orleans. You're like, you're still corrupt.
Yeah.
Anyway, once lotteries were banned, folks conspired to find new ways to gamble. They're like, okay, we'll keep this rocking. So thus, the era of the sweepstakes was born.
Oh.
And the big difference of the sweepstakes,
yeah, what is the difference?
The difference between a lottery and a sweepstakes is that a sweepstakes doesn't require the gambler to purchase the tickets. You've heard all your life, no purchase necessary.
Right, no purchase necessary. Yeah. Okay.
So instead, the gambling tickets are part of a giveaway for like a product, or a person can even also send in a request for a free ticket to play. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Isn't it like where it'll be on like product packaging, but it says no, but like, so you can like ask for a thing without buying it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but no one ever does.
Yeah,
that.
so with sweepstakes, sometimes the prize is a product, or sometimes it's a service, like, oh, get a free massage or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Other times it's a big cash prize, aka gambling.
Yeah.
So sweepstakes, they become a very popular way for a business to drive traffic to come in and buy their whatever.
My grandpa loved those.
Really?
If he could send in a ticket for a sweepstakes, he would. And he would send in multiples with variations on spellings on everyone's name in the household.
Oh, interesting.
And so, like, when I was a little kid, they had a Tony the Tiger baseball sweepstakes with, what was that?
Kellogg's?
Yeah, Frosted Flakes, right?
Yeah, Frosted Flakes.
No one in the house ate Frosted Flakes. He went out and he bought a bunch of boxes of Frosted Flakes, and then he filled all of them out, and all of us had like variations on our names. It was like,
you're Elizabeth, you're Liz,
I was
you're Beth.
Elizabeth Button, and I was,
that way.
Yeah,
okay.
and so it's like, because it was like one per household, or one for whatever it was. So he sent all of these in, and then we got inundated with Tony the Tiger baseballs.
Really?
We got so many of them.
So you won baseballs?
We won baseballs. And then what was kind of cool is like later on, like after he passed away, about a month later, I got a puzzle book in the mail in his name that he had won in a sweepstakes.
Really? Do you still have it?
Yeah. And it's like, I love puzzles. And I was just like, this is incredible. Like,
Totally.
Still raking it in.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Well, you know who else loves sweepstakes?
No.
Fast food companies.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
The idea is
I'm in
that
the game.
just like a lottery, the winner is selected at random. And just like a lottery, sweepstakes become this theater for fraud and abuse, because you can get, like, say, a ticket or whatever the product is to enter, and you can win possibly a big cash prize.
Sure.
Like sometimes millions of dollars.
Yeah.
That's what I want to tell you about. The
Please
great
do.
monopoly scam from McDonald's. It's one of the most famous sweepstakes aside from Publishers Clearinghouse. It's just like all true sweepstakes. It was a no purchase necessary form of gambling.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you remember the Monopoly game from McDonald's? Did you ever play it? I mean, like, you know how it works. I don't have to tell you the rules.
Because you would get, and I feel like you had to go inside, and there was like the placemat on the tray was the board, or maybe they gave you the board. I don't remember how it worked, but they was like the Monopoly board.
Yes. So there was the early forms, yes. And then later on, you just have to basically collect the, like, say, the colors of a property on Monopoly.
Right, but
so
you
like,
had to have the board so you knew, like, how many you'd collected.
you only need to win, like say, like 3. Say, like, if you pick, like,
Yeah.
Baltic Avenue, you only need the other light blue ones. I think Baltic Avenue is light blue. Anyway, and then if you have Park Place and Boardwalk and you have those bright blue ones, right?
Yeah.
That's all you need. Just those 2. You would win $1 million.
Right. But like the lesser ones you would collect and it was like, oh, you got some fries.
Yeah, well, exactly. You win free Happy Meal or you got some large fries.
Yeah, Marvin Gardens gets you something. Yeah, exactly.
So this new Monopoly game from McDonald's was announced in September of this year, and it starts on October 6th. And as always, it's available for a limited time only. Now, for the new rebooted version, there are still the same peel-away stickers that you would find on the cups and the fries, and those are the game pieces, just like they used to be. But now it's an app-based game you play on your smartphone.
Oh, do you have to like scan the?
Yes, exactly. It kind of ruins some of the fun for me but you still get to peel them off, and then you scan onto your phone, then it keeps track of them for you. But
I saw a Reddit post where someone ordered McDonald's through like DoorDash or something, and the guy who delivered it had peeled the stickers off, and it arrived denuded of its.
That's amazing.
So you don't have to collect those little tiny little things.
Yeah, but I loved collecting those. Back when cars had ashtrays, we kept all the McDonald's Monopoly pieces in the ashtrays.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And it was like we would use it as like, come on, we got Grandma. We're so close.
Yeah, exactly.
We're so close to getting this.
We just need Pennsylvania.
Like, no, I swear to God, you cannot have any more. But come on, man.
So back to the new app. You still get the same game pieces, as we said, and then you scan them. But then you also have to get the McDonald's app, right? And you have to join the McDonald's loyalty program, which I'm never going to do. So I guess I'm just not going to play this time around. Anyway, if you do have the app, you collect all your digital game pieces, just like with Monopoly. If you collect the properties of the color-coded neighborhood, boom, you can win prizes.
Right.
So like for now, this time you can win a brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Oh, great.
And for one lucky winner, there'll be a big cash prize of $1 million.
Oh.
Which is what it used to be. Of course, $1 million was a lot more money back in the 80s and 90s.
It was a huge deal.
Totally. Like, do you remember the first McDonald's Monopoly game? Do you want to guess what year that first iteration came out?
I want to say 85?
Close, really good. 87.
87.
April of 1987, to be exact.
Okay.
Which coincidentally is also the same year as a big Wall Street crash.
Oh, yeah.
Right, in October, right? You have the Black Monday or Black Tuesday, depending on which one. It has both names. Did you know that? Black Monday and Black Tuesday? I always thought of it as Black Monday, but I looked it up on Wikipedia.
It's both?
Yeah, because people are like, well, I really lost more money the next day. So we call it Black Tuesday here, I guess.
I totally thought it was earlier than that. That's funny.
Yeah, so anyway, do you want to guess the last year the McDonald's offered its Monopoly game before bringing it back?
90s, right?
2014.
2014?
Yeah.
I don't really keep up with McDonald's. I haven't kept up with McDonald's since I was a child.
I know you haven't. Now, you may be thinking that, what does this have to do with crime? Great question, Elizabeth, because I'm about to tell you about that.
Such a good question.
But the McDonald's Monopoly game, it was revealed to be rigged earlier than 2014. It was back in 2001.
Oh, really?
That's when the revelation came about, right?
Okay.
And it sort of then limped along until 2014 when it finally fizzled out as a promotion. So what happened back in 2001?
I don't know.
Great question, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
And after this break, I will tell you.
Excellent.
Elizabeth.
Zaron.
So, McDonald's Monopoly, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, I was telling you so here's what you need to know. So there was fraud, and it started in 2001, and...
No, it got revealed in 2001.
And it was...
Okay,
I'm sorry,
I'll tell
I misspoke.
You.
It was revealed, I don't know words.
So 1987 it starts, right? Now, you want to guess what year the insider fraud started?
No.
2 years later. It took 2 years. 1989 is when our crime story begins.
It's only 2 years. It only went 2 beautiful years.
Totally. Before someone's like, I can rig this.
I got an idea, yeah.
So first, a little bit about how you could win the McDonald's Monopoly game. Obviously, you have to collect the game pieces, and you had to collect the complete set. We've covered that. And then you could win $1 million. So Park Place and Boardwalk were the way to win $1 million. But there was another way to win, which is you could find the elusive instant win game piece.
Okay.
And so this piece, you pull it off, it just says, oh, congratulations, you've won $1 million,
Yeah.
or you've won $500,000, or you won 20, there's a bunch of big prizes. Now, do you remember how wild it would be when people would get Park Place and then all they needed was Boardwalk and they would just be going crazy?
I was a firm believer that Boardwalk was never printed. You know what I mean? Or they printed one and it was in a special cup. Like in a safe. So they could say, oh no, we printed it.
We technically did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously the easier path to the $1 million cash prize was to find one of those hyper elusive instant win game pieces, which meant it was to your benefit to go back to McDonald's as often as possible.
Well, yeah, and especially with kids, they're nagging and nagging.
Oh yeah, or teenagers who think they can win.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is how Monopoly became easily, by far, the most profitable marketing campaign for McDonald's since they invented the Happy Meal. Those are like the 2 high points, right? It was the most lucrative marketing stunt in like the history of fast food. But what folks never knew at the time was the game was rigged. Like you weren't going to find one of those instant win stickers, at least not after 1989.
Oh no.
Yeah, you may be thinking, well, why not, Zaron?
Why not,
Great
Zaron?
question, Elizabeth. The reason why was a man known as Uncle Jerry. And I don't mean your dude, Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead.
I was like, what he
I'm
have
talking
to do
about
with it?
Jerry Jacobson from my first hometown, Atlanta, Georgia. Now, this Uncle Jerry, who was eventually the man responsible for defrauding the McDonald's Monopoly game, was, wait for it, a former cop.
Okay.
Yeah. He was born at the end of the silent generation, 1943. He was raised in Youngstown, Ohio. That he enjoyed this all-American upbringing. When he's a teen, his family moves to Miami, Florida. And then when he's of age, he's ready to leave home and he goes to join the U.S. Marines. But he gets kicked out of the Corps in basic training due to having high arches.
Isn't that crazy?
I know, right? So my friend got kicked out for having flat feet. His feet were too flat. Actually, they were like convex. They were like bowed out.
Wait, he had like little rocker. He was like a rocking horse when he walked down the street?
Completely.
Like, if he stood still, he'd rock back and forth.
If you followed his footprints down the beach, it looked like, what creature am I following?
You're kidding.
Yeah, it's wild. There was no like normal footprint. It was the exact opposite. It was like only the arch.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, so at this point, right, this guy, he gets kicked out, he bounces around for a bit, and then Uncle Jerry, in 1976, he has this dream of becoming a cop, and that comes to pass. He joins the Hollywood, Florida Police Department. Hollywood, Florida is the less famous Hollywood, obviously located between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, right there on like the eastern coast of Florida, right?
Okay.
Now, much like his dream to be a Marine, his time in the Hollywood Police Department didn't last long.
Oh.
Yeah, this time it was his wrist. He got into some altercation. I couldn't find out what it was. He injures his wrist. He goes out on medical leave, right? This lasts for a long time because in 1980, still on medical leave, he collapses from paralysis and he loses feeling in his eyes, his arms, his legs, and his lungs. He has a hard time breathing.
Oh, you're kidding me.
He has this rare neurological condition, right? So in order to take care of her husband, his wife, Marcia, also a cop, she leaves the force. And then, since he'll never be a cop again, the department lets him go. So now they're both former cops.
Yeah.
In order to start their new life together in 1981, Jerry and Marcia moved to Atlanta, Georgia. That's where Jerry gets this new job as a mechanic, right?
Wait, but he was like, he can't breathe.
Well, he eventually was able to walk again and it passed.
Rehabilitated him.
Yeah, it took him a while, but eventually he got back on his feet.
Suspicious.
Now, Marcia, she gets the job as a security auditor for this accounting firm, right? And after she establishes herself at the firm, she finagles a job for her husband, Jerry. And she's like, he's also a former cop, really great guy.
Right.
Fortunately, working and living together led to stress in their marriage. 2 years later, they divorce.
Oh, that's
so
sad.
Jerry, though, stays at the firm.
Oh, you're kidding. They had to keep working together?
Yeah, so he's working private security for a client of this firm, this place called Dittler Brothers, right?
Okay.
And for them, he's working security for their big client, a company called Simon Marketing. That's the company that would later have a $500 million client called McDonald's. Yeah, Simon Marketing, they're responsible for making the Monopoly game pieces for McDonald's new promotional sweepstakes.
Okay.
Jerry gets put in charge of overseeing the security for the winning game pieces.
Oh, boy.
And he was real diligent. He was like I'm a Marine, I'm a cop, right?
Yeah.
A former coworker of his recalled that Jerry was suspicious of anybody who would get near the game pieces and anybody who's on the floor. He thought anybody could be a possible cheater.
Sure.
For instance, according to one former coworker, Jerry, quote, inspected workers' shoes to check that they weren't stealing McDonald's game pieces.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was officious and like real diligent.
He should have been like the cartels and made everyone work naked.
There you go. That would have done it. McDonald's loves that, I bet.
I think that's, it's definitely part of their HR
Sweatshop rules, baby.
bylaws.
So the diligence of Jerry impresses Simon Marketing. So in 1988, they hire him away from Dittler Brothers and put him in charge of the security for all the Monopoly game pieces because now McDonald's is like, this is a huge hit. We're going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Fast food giant decides they'll run 2 limited Monopoly games each year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
They're just going hard on it. Yeah.
So to create the random winning game pieces, Dittler Brothers relies on this supercomputer, the Omega 3. Right?
Oh, my God.
From there, the game pieces...
Do they talk to it?
No. They get printed by a traditional printing press that runs 24 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
How many Monopoly game pieces were they cranking out? Great question, Elizabeth.
Is this only in the United States? Or
Also
is this...
Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. 500 million game pieces, which was enough game pieces that's basically 2 game pieces for every American in the U.S. at the time.
Shazam.
So Jerry, he's in charge of overseeing the creation of everything, including the ultra-rare instant winner game pieces.
Yeah.
Once created, these instant winner game pieces, they would be locked away in a vault. Like, they took the security very seriously. And I'm talking like they had multiple security apparatus. Namely, they had 2 combination locks, a coded keypad. It was like a nuclear sub where you had to turn 2 keys at the same time.
Yeah.
So when it's time for him to deliver the instant winner game pieces, Jerry would take like a pair of scissors and he would cut them out from the printing press paper. Then he'd place the instant winners in an envelope. Then he'd seal that envelope with a tamper-proof sticker. Right? Then that's not all. Then since he's the one who's going to carry this to the places to the companies that make the cups and the fries, and he's going to have them be affixed. He carries the sealed envelope over to the McDonald's factories and then says, okay, bring me a pallet of fries. And then he picks one, puts it on, mixes it all up and goes, okay, distribute these.
No way.
Totally. So to get to these factories, he would fly on commercial airlines. First class all the way, baby.
Nice.
But he didn't fly alone. He was escorted by a second security official and an accountant. Like I said, like a nuclear submarine. They always got the 2 keys that have to turn.
Did you have like the suitcase, the briefcase with the handcuffs?
Yeah, like, totally.
I mean, I would have requested that just because it looks so cool.
Oh my God, people know you're important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the security team, Jerry, and the other security official, who goes unnamed, would travel to a McDonald's factory where they would then have, like, as I said, a whole forkload of like drink cups or French fry containers brought over, and then they would select a random cup and then add the instant winner game piece, both of them watching, right? Everything has to be done in doubles. And then this is ensuring that the winner is actually a random customer. So he does this legitimately a few times in 1988. Then in 1989, he decides, why should he send out the instant winners to be randomly found by some Chinook when he could just as easily pretend to affix it to a French fry container and keep it for himself?
Yeah.
And then he could select the winner of, say, like a big cash prize.
Which would be him.
Yeah. Well, no,
he couldn't.
That would be too obvious.
Yeah.
So that's one. Yeah, keep that in mind.
Because a lot of times with all these kind of sweepstakes and stuff, like if you are... if you work in a certain industry or you have, so he'd have to be like outside of the family.
Exactly. Outside of usually it's the immediate family, but really for McDonald's, it's going to be your family.
Yeah, it's going to be
and
your entire
neighbors,
bloodline.
Your block, like
anyone
anybody.
you've ever made eye contact with.
So at this period in time, his salary was $70,000, which was good.
That's a lot.
That was good pay in 1988.
In 88, that's a lot.
That would be equivalent to $191,000 in 2025.
That's a lot.
Like, that's good pay.
That is a lot.
Now, but that $70,000 wasn't much compared to $1 million.
God, and what's $1 million in 88 worth now?
I do not know. I didn't look that up.
You didn't look it up.
I'm so
Zaron.
sorry. Here,
God, I live for that.
Let me look that up for you, Elizabeth, because I know you do look. You live for that.
It helps me get oriented. It helps me understand the world. Because I'm like, I don't know what does that mean to me. What's time to a pig?
That would be $2.7 million, Elizabeth.
That's the only inflation from 88 to
2.74. Is that better?
No, that's it should be like $180 billion, Elizabeth.
It's like a 270% increase.
That's not enough for me.
Okay. Well, the Jerry at this point, right, he realizes the only cost to him would be his integrity. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, that's all, and I've already, what's that to a pig? So he starts out small. He doesn't hand out $1 million instant winner right off the bat. He doesn't. He's like, that would be too obvious.
Yeah.
So at first he starts out with a $25,000 instant winner game piece. He takes one, swipes it, takes it home. But Jerry, he's like, who do I give this to? So he's at a family function in 1989, and he slyly hands over to his stepbrother the winning game piece. He's like, he's got a different last name.
Oh, yeah. It's clever.
As Jerry later said, quote, I don't know if I just wanted to show him I could do something or was bragging, or as he also put it, he may have just wanted to, quote, to see if I could do it.
Yeah, just take a test run.
So then fate with a capital F stepped in. It arrived in the form of his butcher. His trusted meat supplier heard that Jerry was the man who ran security for the McDonald's Monopoly game, and being an ambitious and unscrupulous man, his butcher tells Jerry he sure would like to win that McDonald's Monopoly game. And Jerry tells him, I happen to have the power to make that happen. And so he's like, really?
This is all at the butcher store, the butcher shop?
But he's like, I couldn't do that because we're friends, and they, and not only that, we're neighbors, and so they'll figure it out if you're my friend and neighbor. The butcher listens to him, and he goes, you know what? I got an idea. What if it wasn't me who won, but instead a trusted friend of mine
who
lives far away? No one would suspect that.
Let's
keep in
include
mind,
more people.
It doesn't have to be the $1 million prize. I'm not greedy. So.
I like to imagine that he's like an old style, cartoon butcher. He's holding a string of sausages.
Totally, and the cleaver in the other hand,
his mouth. Yeah.
just talking a string of sausages. So he's like, well, what if it was a lesser instant winner game piece? They probably wouldn't even do investigations into that. Maybe one of the 10 grand game pieces.
Yeah.
If you could arrange that, the butcher tells him, I'd split the winnings with you, Jer. He says, I'll give you $2 grand of the winnings.
Yeah, because someone's got to pay taxes on it.
Well, yeah, there's that. I don't think they were thinking about the taxes.
Logistics, baby.
So at this point, they're thinking it's a surefire plan to make some quick cash, right?
Yeah.
So Jerry does it, and their fraud works perfectly. But then fate with a capital F stepped back in. This time it had nothing to do with Jerry directly, but it affected his power to pick winners. You see, Elizabeth, other folks had the same idea. They're like, what if I kept these game pieces? So there was this guy who worked for McDonald's who was a 17-year-old. Yeah, and he stole about 3,000 game pieces from a restaurant.
Kidding.
He gets caught. He gets arrested. So McDonald's like, we got to have to come up with new security protocols.
Right.
So it would take years later for Jerry to have another chance. In 1995, he's finally back in a position to get his hands on them instant winner game pieces.
Still doing the same job.
Oh, yeah, still doing the same
Love it.
job. Now, you see, Elizabeth, the technology McDonald's used had changed. Now the winning game pieces were affixed through a new process, and Jerry was responsible for delivering the instant winner game pieces to the people who did the affixing, and he decides this is his big chance to get paid.
Yeah.
So if you can believe it, fate, with a capital F, steps back into his life. The maker of the tamper-proof stickers was located overseas in Hong Kong.
Oh.
And by mistake, one day the company sent a bunch of the tamper-proof stickers to Jerry directly. So now he's got a way to seal the envelope after he opens the envelope, and nobody would be the wiser. So he's in this enviable position of being the one guy who can decide who could win the big cash prizes.
Yeah.
Forget you, supercomputer. It's all about Jer Bear.
Right.
So at this point, remember how he traveled with a second security official?
Yes.
An accountant? So there's this double fail-safe, right? So there'd be no cheating. Jerry would just have to think of a way to get around this one person. That's all he had to do. And then, or he could cut them in on the deal. That would be an option.
That's dangerous.
But you know what they say about the one foolproof way for two people to keep a secret, right? Is to kill one of the other people,
exactly.
right? Or kill the other person. And since we have a 99% murder-free guarantee,
which is pretty much 100%.
I can promise you this, Jerry didn't murk anyone.
Good.
So how does Jerry
get
get around the second security official? Really great question, Elizabeth. To answer that, I'd like you to close your eyes.
My eyes are closed.
And I'd like you to picture it. It's mid-morning, and at the moment, you are waiting for some action. You hear the familiar sound of water splashing against a sink basin. This is soon followed by the bang of a hand against an oversized metal button, which is followed by the hum and blow of a hand dryer. Then the sound of a man's shoes across a tile floor, punctuated by a door opening and then closing, and finally, silence. And you go back to waiting. A moment later, though, you hear the door open again. You eagerly perk up your attention. You hear a man's footsteps, the rhythm of dress shoes as they cross the tile floor, and then the squeak of hinges as a partition door swings open to a bathroom stall. It's your stall. And then you see him, a middle-aged man, a little heavyset. He looks like a regular business traveler. He closes the stall door behind him, and you wait, eager to be of assistance, because you, Elizabeth, are a roll of toilet paper in an airport men's room. The man takes off his blazer, hangs it on the hook of the stall door, but then he doesn't unzip and drop his slacks and take a seat on the toilet. No, instead, you watch as he puts on a pair of disposable latex gloves. Then he reaches into his vest and he retrieves an envelope. That's odd, you think, but it's not drugs or even money that he pulls out. Instead, he carefully opens the envelope and pulls out what looks to be a small printed sticker. You're unsure what you're looking at. He rifles through the printed squares until he's satisfied. A wide smile spreads across his face. One of his latex hands reaches into his slacks pocket and pulls out a Ziploc sandwich bag. He carefully places the small printed square into the Ziploc sandwich bag. He seals that and shoves it into a pocket of his slacks. Then he reaches into the other pocket and pulls out a similar-looking printed square and places that one in the envelope, taking the place of the one he's just taken out. And then you watch as he pulls out from his pants pocket an iridescent metal sticker. He holds it in his teeth. That's curious. Then you watch as he reseals the envelope. He uses the metal sticker to secure it closed. Ah, it's a security sticker, you think. You're a smart roll of toilet paper. The man chuckles to himself proudly, and he says, "Too easy." Then he returns the envelope to his vest pocket. He reaches back, grabs his blazer, pulls an arm through his sleeve, and then another. He chuckles again to himself as he says, "A perfect crime." He flushes the toilet as cover, but he never touches a square of your soft white toilet paper. Instead, he opens the stall door, and you just hear him walk off. The door opens. He doesn't wash his hands, and then it closes. You don't know it, but you just watched a man steal $1 million. Oh,
my God.
So there you go, Elizabeth. That's how Jerry worked his scam. He used the men's room at the airport. Why? Because the second security expert, the accountant, was a woman.
Well, even so, he could go into the stall.
Totally.
He's got total privacy, but then he really
you would hear maybe the envelope.
Sure.
One of the other guy came in like, "Oh, bathroom, what a good idea."
Right. That's amazing.
So now that he has his method all worked out, the only other thing he needs to do was to salve his soul for what he plans to do with these big cash prize winners.
Yeah.
And also he wanted to do some sort of grand gesture, something that might help him out down the line, like say with a judge, should he ever get caught in the future.
Sure.
So what did Uncle Jerry do to both salve his soul and to look out for his future legal defense?
That's a great question, Zaron.
Well, on November 12th, 1995, working at the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital in Tennessee, a donations clerk opened an envelope that had a greeting card in it. The donation clerk secreted away inside of the greeting card, a McDonald's Monopoly game piece. It was an instant winner. And not just any instant winner, Elizabeth. It was the big one, a $1 million instant winner. That's right.
What?
He sent it to St. Jude's.
Oh, my God.
The donation clerk, she can't believe her eyes, right? She's like losing it. And if you can believe it, she didn't keep it for herself. She's like, recognized this is going to be so much for the kids.
She's a good person.
She works at St. Jude's,
exactly.
of course. So she hands it over to her boss. They're equally flabbergasted. Who on earth would get the $1 million instant winner game piece and then give it away?
Yeah.
They can't believe St. Jude's incredible luck. The warm-hearted generosity of this anonymous donor. Because there was no note, no signature, nothing.
Just blank.
Just a postmark that later revealed that it was sent from Dallas on the day after Thanksgiving. Inside of the unmarked envelope was just the instant winner ticket. That was it.
Yeah.
As the New York Times would later report, officials from McDonald's flew out to St. Jude's to authenticate the winning game piece. It was confirmed to be legit. After that, they hold a press conference.
Oh, yeah, because that's a great story.
Right? They loved it. St. Jude's Children's Hospital, a bunch of officials. They got Ronald McDonald with his red fright wig out there doing like a PR.
Although they're like duking it out, the Ronald McDonald House and St. Jude's.
Good point.
Although maybe they work hand in hand.
I think probably do.
Yeah.
Now, they were like happy to announce announced some kind heart had donated one of the 3 $1 million prizes from this semi-annual Monopoly game.
Yeah.
And now St. Jude's would receive annual installments of $50,000 to be paid over 20 years. So while both the St. Jude's and McDonald's opted to honor the wishes of the anonymous donor, the New York Times is like, no. Let's see if we can figure out who this is.
Well, because like they've got to be just so relieved that it's not some dirtbag who like smacks his kids on TV in front of winning it. Like just some horrible person.
Keep that thought in mind.
Oh, boy.
Try as the New York Times might, they couldn't figure out who'd given away $1 million. They do a full-on investigation. They can't find Jerry. Uncle Jerry's secret is safe.
Yeah.
So now he's feeling confident he can get away with it again.
Sure.
Because if New York Times couldn't find him, butter. He makes plans to select a new big winner. This time it would be someone he knew. And just like his butcher had pitched it to him way back in the day, he would get a cut of the winnings.
Yeah.
So, Elizabeth, let's say you had the power to hand out big cash prizes, like in the neighborhood of hundreds of thousands of dollars or even $1 million. How would you go about arranging it? Who would you trust? Like, who would you even want to help out like that?
If I'm going to be criminal about it? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Why would I announce that on this platform? You're not going to entrap me.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Uncle Jerry goes back to his butcher.
Nice.
Yes, let's take a little break, and after these messages, I'll tell you how it plays out for Uncle Jer and his meat supplier. Elizabeth.
Zaron.
You ready to hear more about Uncle Jer and how it all goes down for him?
I am. He has a very close relationship with his butcher.
He does. They were tight.
I don't know my butcher like that. I don't have a butcher, but if I did, I wouldn't know him like that.
Oh, you got to have a guy.
Gotta have a guy. That's true.
So Uncle Jerry, since it worked so well the first time, right, he pitches his butcher on the idea of rigging the game again. His butcher, though, he's like, you can't win it for the same reasons as before. You're my friend. You're my neighbor. You live down the street from me. Like, it'll be too obvious.
Yeah.
But if you can find someone you trust, I can make it happen. So his butcher's like, yeah, totally. My sister, I can trust her. She lives in Maryland. That's states away.
Yeah.
So their plan is simple. The butcher would go visit his sister, and she would be the one to buy some food from McDonald's, and then she would say, oh, my goodness, I won the instant winner game piece. Yeah. And unlike with St. Jude's, he didn't, go with $1 million prize. He started small. He offered his butcher and the sister a $200,000 winning game piece.
Oh, okay.
Right? And for his cut, he wanted $45,000.
That's not bad.
Not bad, right? The only trouble was his butcher went up to Maryland, and instead of his sister, he claimed he won the $200 grand prize. Jerry has no idea he's doing this. He finds out when he sees his butcher on TV celebrating his big win.
Oh, no.
But worse than that, the butcher stiffed Jerry for his cut. He only gave him $4,000 instead of $45,000.
Oh, you're kidding.
Because what's Jerry going to do?
Yeah.
You going to call a cop?
Exactly.
So Jerry learned a hard lesson about crime that day.
Yeah, he did.
He also learned that he needed someone he could trust if he wanted to keep rigging the McDonald's Monopoly game. But wouldn't you know it, yet again, fate with a capital F steps in. He's in the Atlanta airport, and he meets a man named Gennaro Colombo.
Oh, boy.
Who is described as looking a lot like my man Al Capone and had the morality to match. So the two men, they get to talking. Jerry asks Colombo, hey, where are you flying to? And Gennaro Colombo's like, hey, yeah. He pulls out this huge wad of $100 bills, and he says, I'm headed to Atlantic City. And this gets the men talking. He's like, this is my kind of guy. So Colombo tells the former cop that he is a member of the Colombo Crime family, a.k.a. one of the 5 families of New York, New Jersey.
Oh, they go around talking about these things.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a made man, a real-life mobster, right?
What?
But he lives in South Carolina.
Okay, so no.
So because that's where he ran an underground casino and sports book. He also had a strip club like the Bada Bing on Sopranos, right? But in the South, things were a little weird, especially about strip clubs. So when he wanted to expand his business into Georgia, Colombo had to find a way to get around the laws, like the zoning.
Yeah.
So when he opened his strip club in Georgia, he called it a church. He named his new strip club the Church of the Fuzzy Bunnies.
Stop.
See, he told Jerry, you know what, it came to me. I had this dream, and God came to me and told me to start a church.
called Church of the Fuzzy Bunnies.
Church of Fuzzy Bunnies. So this impresses Jerry. He's like, oh, man, you're a real criminal.
Oh, wait. So, Jerry, do you not have any close friends? Like, you're going up to people in the airport that you meet who claim to be mobsters.
Who look like Al Capone.
And tell you, hey, nice to meet you. I'm a mobster.
Yeah. Well, it took a little bit, but they got there, yeah. So he's like, well, this guy, he's like me. He likes to get around the rules. He knows how to do it. So at some point, Jerry tells Colombo what he does for a living. And naturally, a made man like Colombo, he sees dollar signs, right? So the two get to talking more. And then later that year, they reconnect, and Jerry gives Colombo an instant winner game piece.
Oh, my God.
Not for a big kick. Like recently, we got the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Yeah,
Back then, it was
have to pay taxes
Dodge Viper.
on.
Yeah, but once he's confirmed as the winner, instead of the car, Colombo takes the cash. He's like, what's the cash value on that
exactly.
car?
That's what I would always do.
So it's Colombo. He becomes Jerry's new trusted confidant, right? He's on the inside. And they become such fast friends. He gives Jerry a new nickname, Uncle Jerry.
That's when he becomes Uncle Jerry.
Totally. Together, the two then get into work, right? They distribute instant winner game pieces and not more cars. Now they start going for real money. And so Jerry trusts this mobster Colombo to help him find new winners.
Is he a legitimate mobster?
Yeah, he is. He is a legitimate member of the
not a
Colombo
good
Crime.
one.
No, but he's in South Carolina.
He's like
it's like the family kicked him out of New Jersey.
They totally kicked him out and sent him to South Carolina.
Totally. But like not too far south because we can't get in the Trafficante way.
Exactly.
You can't go all the way to Florida.
Can't go to Florida,
you get
but
near
we'll
Miami,
send you
it's going to be a
there
problem.
Where you're going to stick out like a sore thumb in South Carolina.
Exactly. You would think.
Yeah.
So one of the winners that Colombo picks, because he's the one now in charge of finding new winners that they can trust, and they both now get to take a big cut from him. He's like, oh, I got the perfect one, my wife's father. So he becomes the $1 million winner, right?
So wait, he wins a car in his name, and then his father-in-law is going to be...
Yeah, and then it gets better, because the next $1 million winner he picks out is his brother-in-law.
These are just a brain trust. It's...
Yes. And this time, unlike his butcher, they pay Jerry his cut, right? So this starts a run of $1 million winners.
So wait... So his brother, his father-in-law, and oh God.
And all these winners are hand-selected by Colombo and his wife, right? His wife, Robin. Now, in 1997, Jerry meets a new potential big winner in an Applebee's in Jacksonville, Florida.
What is wrong with this man?
Colombo.
Is he just chatty? Like, when's the last time you made a friend in an airport?
Oh, don't ask me these questions. You know I make friends in weird places.
I talk to nobody.
Oh, I totally. I will talk to.
I'm in an airport.
I talk to more
down.
people in public than I do like in my private life.
I'll chat with people, but I'm not gonna like share my information with them.
Oh no, people think I'm trustworthy. I don't tell them much about me.
No, but I'm saying I'm not gonna make a friend in an airport. Get out of here. I got enough friends. I don't need you people. I'm not going to go. Well, first of all, I wouldn't go in an Applebee's. If I were in there, I'm not going to make friends. Get out of there as fast as I can.
So Colombo's wife, Robin, introduces Jerry to her friend, a woman named Gloria. Now, Jerry asks her, like, how much would you pay for an instant winner game piece? She says she could get him $40,000 in cash. Jerry's like, deal.
Oh my
God. A few weeks later, he meets her alongside Interstate 95. That's the one that runs up and down the eastern seaboard.
The big dog.
I-95, yeah.
Oh
So Gloria hands him $40,000 in cash. He hands her a tiny bottle, I imagine like a liquor bottle, like one of those airplane liquor bottles, with a winning piece inside. And you have to assume he used gloves to make sure he left no fingerprints on the game piece.
Make sure it's fully dry inside, too.
Right? One would think. Now, Gloria drives back to South Carolina to buy a McDonald's meal deal and discover her winning game piece.
Hold on. So this is just a rando from Applebee's.
No. Robin is Colombo's wife. The new rando is Gloria, her friend. He doesn't know her.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Right? So she goes back to South Carolina, buys a McDonald's meal deal, and then goes, oh my goodness, look, I won. And then she goes to Colombo he takes her to the fast food spot, and then he coaches her on how to fake find the instant winner. He's like, okay, look, here's what you want to do, right? And then he waits in the car while she goes in and buys her Big Mac or whatever. And because she's a terrible liar and nervous about getting caught, Gloria does what all liars do. She tells this rambling story about how she found the winning game piece while she was cleaning out her car, and it was a kind of like a child would tell, right?
Right.
But it works perfectly. So far, so good,
and
right?
all these are collected in South Carolina.
For the most part. So,
even if McDonald's were so stupid that they just thought, well, then it makes Jerry look bad. Like, you're not mixing these up enough. They're all going in the same truck.
Yeah.
to these various restaurants. Oh, my.
So how long can your luck hold out when your partner is a made man from Sicily who's a member of the Colombo Crime family, and
God, I don't know.
he's working a strip club underground casino scene in South Carolina.
Just everything, his whole existence.
Yeah, and not to mention he's the proprietor of the Church of the Fuzzy Bunnies.
Right, exactly.
So, anyway, if you want to keep a secret between two people, only way to do that is to kill the other person, right? But now Uncle Jerry has this growing circle of people who know about his secret.
And the butcher.
Yeah, and one of them is a legitimate made man from the five families of New York, New Jersey.
To get involved with.
So yeah, exactly. So at this point, it's the late 90s. Uncle Jerry is minting new millionaires with his stolen game pieces, but still no one's the wiser. So what does he do? Of course, he gets sloppy with it. He didn't only work with Colombo, because he liked to be like the fairy godmother of stolen Monopoly money. So he decides he'd give his stepbrother another instant winner game piece.
Get out of here. So he's going to win twice?
Yes. And when that works, the first time he gives him another. And get this, Jerry goes for broke. He gives his brother-in-law $1 million instant winner.
What?
Yes. But his brother-in-law claims he never cashed it in. He says he put it in the toilet and flushed it. He's like, he's an idiot. I don't want to get caught.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That's smart.
So Jerry moves on to other family members. He's at a family wedding, and he gives his nephew a $200,000 instant winner in exchange for $45,000. And so, and then while they're talking about it, a cousin hears them talking. He's like, I could use an instant winner, Uncle Jer. Jerry hooked him up too. So now he's really pressing his luck. It's 1998. It's only a matter of time before Jerry's secret philanthropy for his family gets discovered.
Yeah.
Plus, he's now handing out nearly all of the big cash prize winners. At this point, there are no legitimate winners anymore.
No.
So to make matters worse,
everyone else is just looking for fries.
Exactly, pretty much. Jerry, legit, there was no $1 million.
Fries and a large soda.
Yeah, that's
for
all you're
everybody.
getting. Maybe a Dodge Viper.
If you're lucky, Big Mac.
So Jerry, at this point, he does the thing you're not supposed to do. He buys himself a new house for he and his new wife, who, by the way, claims she knew nothing about any of her husband's Monopoly fraud. And, because, I guess she just believed Jerry's family was really lucky at Monopoly.
They eat a lot of McDonald's.
By this point, Uncle Jerry's tight with the Colombo crime family, right? So tight that they give him a new nickname. They start calling him Geraldo Constantino.
Wait, stop.
Yes.
Why?
Now he's Italian. He goes from being Jerome Jacobson to Geraldo Constantino.
Yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile, Jerry is investing his cut from all the fake winners into lakefront land. He joins this really hoity-toity club for classic car lovers because, that's the big deal in the South. There he meets a member of this club. He likes the guys.
So are you kidding me?
He's like, hey, you want an instant winner game piece?
He is so desperate for people to like him.
Totally. The guy is like, totally. And he uses it to buy an Oldsmobile. Now remember, Colombo the mobster has his wife Robin, right?
Yeah.
Well, after she found out that Colombo was banging his personal trainer, things grew a little weird between them. But just before she could leave him, they get into a really bad car accident. After weeks in a hospital, the mobster Colombo dies from his injuries. After that, Uncle Jerry, he now needs a new agent to help him find fake winners.
Right.
So he tries partnering with a few other morally compromised men in the southern, eastern United States. None of them really have it like that mobster Colombo, right?
Yeah.
Until he meets Andrew Glom. Glomb. Glom.
Okay, Glom.
He was a professional gambler and a former cocaine smuggler.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Is that how we met? They met at a bus stop and he was like, hi, I'm Andy. I used to smuggle coke. What's your name?
He'd been busted in
Constantino.
In 83. And while he was out on bail, he fled to Europe, stayed there for 16 months, and then eventually gets caught, sent back to America, does prison, does his 12-year stretch inside. And once he gets free, that's when he meets Uncle Jerry at a dinner party in Atlanta.
Oh my God. Whose dinner party was that?
Exactly.
That's a good question.
So Uncle Jerry and Glom, they go into business now, finding new fake winners. Instead of picking trusted confidants the way Colombo had or picking family members the way Jerry did,
right.
Glom picked his former associates in the drug smuggling business.
Because they want to have the spotlight on them.
You can probably imagine how that played out on the McDonald's commercials.
Oh my God, where they're just rubbing their noses and It's all of us.
So
Don Jr.
For the next year, in 1999, one of McDonald's Monopoly $1 Million winners was a junior gangster who ran a numbers racket out of an Italian restaurant in Pittsburgh. Until he was busted smuggling 400 pounds of cocaine. So now this is his big comeback. So there he is, like the leather jacket, the slick back hair, just total dirtbag in it.
Yeah.
So over time, Uncle Jerry gave Glom 8 different $1 million winning game pieces to hand out to his dirtbag associates. 8 of them.
Well, he gets the big thing, and McDonald's is like, we're not gonna do. When's the press conference? He's like, there's no.
They run
press
national
conference.
ads, and they're like in People magazine. It's crazy. So McDonald's has all these goonbot gangsters that just happen to be really big McDonald's eaters. Meanwhile, Jerry is still handing out lesser prizes to the people in his own life. For instance, his psychic, who was also his
Wait.
No, it's better than that. His psychic was also his chiropractor.
Stop it. No, you stop this. Are you just pulling these out of a bag? Do you have like a Crown Royal bag full of crazy pieces of paper with craziness on them?
I'm using like magnetic tiles from a refrigerator.
His psychic chiropractor?
Yes, he gave his psychic chiropractor a $50,000 instant winner in exchange for some psychic readings and body alignments.
No.
And get this, Elizabeth, his psychic chiropractor couldn't see that Uncle Jerry's good fortune was about to change.
Right? Oh,
now, remember how Colombo died from that really bad car accident, right?
I remember that.
Well, his family,
I was very sad to hear that.
His family wasn't convinced that his wife, Robin, didn't have something to do with it because she survived. She's in the car.
Was it like a Tony and Christopher?
That's what the family's thinking. So they cut her off after Colombo passes. And then between she gets, to keep living a good life, she has to turn to pulling forgery jobs, credit card fraud, insurance fraud. She's not good at it. She gets caught. She goes to prison. While she's inside, the Colombo family takes care of her son, Frankie, who is their grandson.
Yeah.
But when she gets out of prison, she wants her son back. And as she put it, Frankie was their first grandson, and you know how Sicilians are.
Sure,
sure. We all do. So it's no surprise to me that after Robin tries to cut off contact with the Colombos, and then they have to take her son, and then she gets out of prison, and she wants her son back, and she tries to cut off contact again. I don't know. They try to take the grandson away from her, and then she's trying to fight this, and then suddenly somebody anonymously reports to the FBI that Robin's father, her best friend, her cousin had all won the McDonald's Monopoly game. Sure was a lucky family, FBI?
Really very lucky.
So in March of 2000, the FBI launches an investigation.
Oh, man.
By this point, there was a new game show on TV that also gave out $1 million prizes called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Right.
So the FBI named their investigation Final Answer.
Stop it. Oh my God, that's so good.
Special Agent Richard Dent was on the case, right? Working with a nationwide team.
Dent on it.
25 FBI agents helping him chase down every lead and investigating all these $1 million winners dating back all the way through the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Uncle Jerry still busy minting new millionaires as fast as he can.
Stop!
So after a year, flash forward to July of 2001, McDonald's informs the FBI that they're about to launch the second of their biannual McDonald's Monopoly games because they know about the FBI's investigation. They're working with them.
Yeah.
The folks at corporate, they want to cancel the game since they know it's rigged.
Right.
And it's only a matter of time before the news comes out and McDonald's going to have a PR nightmare.
Right.
But the FBI is like, hey, do one more game and we'll bust whoever's behind it soon. We promise.
Oh, yeah.
It'll all be over.
Yeah.
So the CEO of McDonald's has to make up their mind. He's like, oh, let me think it over. Eventually he's like, okay, sure, let's do it. So the fast food giant runs the new Monopoly game, right? Before a single winner is announced, Uncle Jerry manages to steal both of the $1 million instant winner game pieces. He hands over one to his partner, the former cocaine smuggler Glom, and he gave the other instant winner to a friend of his who had some hard times and could really use the money, right? He's like, his friend's able to get $70,000 together, and he buys the winning game piece.
All the winning is in the Southeast.
Yes, totally.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, the FBI is on the case, right? So thanks to wiretaps, they're now following Glom, the cocaine smuggler, and Uncle Jerry. So the FBI follows Uncle Jerry to a small town called Corbin, Kentucky, where the agents watch him meet up with the new fake winner, this guy Dwight Baker. His sister-in-law had already had a $500,000 instant winner. So now the FBI is watching Baker hand Uncle Jerry, get this, a McDonald's bag. Nice, cute touch.
Oh, that is cute.
Inside is the $70,000. In return, Jerry hands him the $1 million winner. So the FBI watches this. They're like, okay, good to rights.
Yeah.
So Baker passes the ticket off to a trusted confidant who lives in Texas, right? Who then, they contact McDonald's to inform them of their good luck.
Yeah.
The folks from McDonald's corporate call the FBI. They're like, and the FBI is like, is the new winner John Davis from Granbury, Texas? They're like, whoa, you guys are good. The McDonald's court people are totally impressed. The G-men had been clocking it all with their wiretaps. They'd figured it all out. So now they set their trap, right? Not only do they plan to celebrate the latest $1 million winner, but they tell them that we're going to invite all the previous winners to Las Vegas for a winner's reunion.
Oh my God, this is so good.
But the FBI is like, no, that'll probably tip our hand. They're going to talk. They're going to think that they know each other. It'll be too obvious.
Yeah.
So instead, they focus on the new winner that came forward, the one that Glom, the former cocaine smuggler, had selected.
Yeah.
So they set up a commercial shoot featuring this latest lucky winner.
Yeah.
The man's name is Michael Hoover. He's from producer Dee's home state of Rhode Island.
Oh.
So August 3rd, 2001, a film crew shows up in Westerly, Rhode Island, right? They arrive with one of those giant checks to be featured in the commercial. Cameras are rolling. They knock on the door of a townhouse, the home of the new winner, this 56-year-old bachelor who also happens to be a recently bankrupt casino pit boss, the big lucky winner, Michael Hoover.
Oh, God.
So as the camera is rolling, the folks from McDonald's corporate hand Michael the giant check, and they ask him to tell us about your, the stroke of luck for you winning the Monopoly millions, right? Hoover tells some cockamamie story. Once again, another child's lie about how he was like, I was sleeping on the beach. Right?
Stop. No.
When I woke up, I went down to the water's edge to wipe the sand from me, and he stooped over, and my copy of People magazine dropped into the water right there in the Atlantic. Me being an avid reader of People magazine, I went to a grocery store and I got myself a fresh copy. So wouldn't you know it, inside of that's the second copy of People, I find the instant winner game piece. What luck! That's his story.
What?
Yes.
It was in a copy of People magazine?
Because remember, it's a sweepstakes. So in this case, they had put them out because
so they had game pieces in there too.
Game
but
pieces
even so,
in the most recent People.
Why do we have to hear about
child's
oversharing?
Lie.
Child's
so the
lie.
folks from McDonald's corporate, they're trying to keep straight faces as he tells this obvious lie. So is the film crew.
Yeah.
It turns out the film crew is also undercover FBI agents.
That's incredible.
A week and a half later, satisfied that they have great courtroom evidence now, especially because they have this fake commercial filmed, and juries love that kind of stuff. Hey, this sting operation, this is great.
Oh, yeah,
with the big check and the People magazine falling in the Atlantic. So the FBI, they make their move. And you know how the FBI, they love to show up at your front door for a pre-dawn raid and catch you sleeping?
Oh, 100%.
Well, that's how they grabbed Uncle Jerry.
Oh,
knock,
man.
knock, knock. They let him out of his house in his handcuffs to embarrass him in front of all his neighbors.
Yeah.
Right? And so then they go and they arrest the 5 most recent fraudulent winners. And then also they arrest Jerry's partner, the former cocaine smuggler Glom. All in all, 50 defendants were arrested as part of this FBI's case.
50.
When the news breaks on this, Elizabeth, it's huge national news. The Attorney General at the time, John Ashcroft, announces the news of the FBI bust. He informs the press that those involved in this type of corruption will find out that breaking the law is no game.
Oh, get out.
How long do you think he worked on that line, huh?
Oh, he workshopped that at home for a very long time.
Now, while we're talking about John Ashcroft's abundant creativity, do you remember John Ashcroft's song, Let the Eagle Soar?
I do. I also remember how the statues of justice, he didn't like that they were bare-breasted and he had them covered in fabric.
Do you know he also had a music group when he was a U.S. Senator?
I'm not surprised.
Barbershop Quartet. They were called
good Lord.
the Singing Senators. You want to guess who was in the Singing Senators?
Scared. Who?
It was John Ashcroft. He sang baritone.
Yeah.
Larry Craig. He sang lead.
Oh, dear.
Jim Jeffords was the tenor. And
God.
Trent Lott sang bass.
Wow. Wow.
They were known for their barbershop quartet rendition of the Oak Ridge Boys' hit song, Elvira.
Good God.
They
stop.
sang it at the Kennedy Center. They also sang it on the Today Show.
That's sickening.
The group broke up in 2007 after Senator Larry Craig was arrested for lewd contact and solicitation of sex in a Minneapolis airport men's room.
Toe tapping, right?
Yeah, exactly. He was busted by an undercover cop, and due to the scandal, he had resigned office.
Yeah.
Anyway, remember how Uncle Jerry gave that $1 million ticket to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and he thought, if I ever get busted, that will help me out?
Yeah.
It did not, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
He was looking at 45 years behind bars.
Oh,
if he ever got out of prison, he'd be 104 years old.
Right.
So instead, he cuts a deal, right? He agrees to plead guilty and receives a sentence of 15 years behind bars. Of course, he loses everything. He loses his home, his lakefront property, his classic car collection. He loses it all. While in court, Uncle Jerry confessed that over the course of his career as a Monopoly game fixer, he handed out 60 winning game pieces worth $24 million. And
damn.
That's how Uncle Jerry, a.k.a. Geraldo Constantino, gets busted for rigging the McDonald's Monopoly game. And get this, part of the reason why this story got memory hold, and a lot of people have never heard of it, is that the FBI's court case began on September 10th, 2001.
You're kidding
One
me.
day before 9/11. So
You
the story
are
gets lost in the
kidding
news.
me.
It pales in comparison to the birth of the new
No,
post-9/11
why does
world.
this keep happening?
Right?
We keep hearing these things. That's wild.
And I should point out that McDonald's did agree to honor the winning ticket that Uncle Jerry gave to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Well, that's good. That's good PR.
Yeah. And actually, they didn't even really play it up for PR. But
still,
some people did find out that McDonald's, let's just say it was like a good karma, right?
Yeah.
And but still, people found out that McDonald's had been running a rigged game that none of their customers had a chance of winning for twice a year for at least 6 years.
That is.
So what's
wild.
our ridiculous takeaway from here?
Oh my God! If you're gonna crime, like I don't know, you can't spread it out that wide.
No.
And if you have to spread it, you cannot. And don't go to a psychic don't go to a chiropractor, but especially a psychic chiropractor. Zaron, what's your ridiculous takeaway?
Oh man, I think that he should have stayed with the mob and not gone to the B level like cocaine smugglers. I think they're just messy. Glom definitely. Yeah, I think if he would have stayed with the Colombo crime family,
right?
They would have whacked him when it was like, oh, we're going to run into trouble. This is going to be bad news. And then all of a sudden, FBI is like, oh, our main suspect is gone.
Yeah.
Or I think that would be where I think he made his mistake. And also the other one is, try to limit who you talk to in airports because
100%.
you never know.
Absolutely.
You might end up in a scenario like this.
Absolutely.
So you in the mood for a talk back? Are we going to wash this all down like a nice tall soda?
Yum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Producer D, can you favor us with one?
Talk backs. Oh my God, did he just say that?
OMG.
Hello, Zaron, Elizabeth, and producer D. This is Hannah. I am a new listener, really enjoying the show, and I just listened to the college football pranks episode, and that reminded me, you know what's ridiculous? My grandmother once stole the Washington State University's mascot, which is a live cougar. She and her friends drove down from Gonzaga University, picked up the cougar, brought it back with them to Gonzaga, and once they sobered up, thought better of it, and took it back. This is allegedly all true, or so says Grandma.
Your grandmother stole a mountain lion? That's incredible.
Amazing. This is so good.
Props to Grandma.
Right?
Yeah.
That was excellent. Oh my God.
Thank you for that.
Come from a long line of amazing women, it sounds like.
Well, thank you for listening. Always, you can find us online at Ridiculous Crime on social media. And now we have our Ridiculous Crime pod on YouTube, so go check that out. They're awesome. It's fun to watch or listen. And also, we have our website, ridiculouscrime.com. And of course, we love your talkbacks. So go to the iHeart app, download it, record one, and maybe you'll hear your voice here. We'd love to hear it. Also, you can email us if you want at ridiculouscrime@gmail.com. We do love your story suggestions. And there you go. That's all I got for you. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you next crime. Ridiculous Crime is hosted by Elizabeth Dutton and Zaron Burnett. Produced and edited by the Singing Senator sound engineer, Dave Kuster. And starring Annalise Rucker as Judith. Research is by Burger King loyalists Marissa Brown and Jabari Davis. Our theme song is by our resident house band, Ronald and the McDonald's, a.k.a. Thomas Lee and Travis Dutton. The host wardrobe provided by Botany 500. Guest hair and makeup by Sparkle Shot and Mr. Andre. Executive producers are the lead vocalists of the men's choir for the Church of the Fuzzy Bunnies, Ben Bolin and Noel Brown.
Ridiculous crime.
Say it one more time.
Ridiculous crime.
Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.